What's up guys, it's McNulty here. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are all doing well. So as you can see, snow is falling in Empires and Puzzles land. The northern lights are in the sky and we have the little snowmen that you can tap on and their heads flip upside down. And that all means that it is the beginning of December, and of course the 1st of December means that we have our seasonal heroes in the portal. So it is time to say hello to our newest Christmas friends. They should be somewhere in here. There they are. So the seasonal summon portals opened, and with it we have 3 brand new heroes. Well, 2 brand new heroes, 2 brand new 5 stars, and an old favorite with a costume. So of course we're going to have a look at these guys today. I think we'll start off with the new seasonal heroes just to get an idea of what they've put in here. I have had quite a few people in comments in line groups and things like that saying that these heroes are not that great. But yeah, I want to decide for myself, so I haven't had a good look at them. They certainly bring the Christmas spirit, I must say, looking at this dude. So we'll start off with Albin. So Albin is our holy hero from the new Christmas family. He is a paladin hero, so nice defensive class, and he gets the winter family bonus. So the winter family bonus is it's not a great family bonus. They summon a minion with 2 to 3% health and 5 to 10% attack for the minions inherited. I mean, that bonus is really only super useful with Pengi because Pengi just takes advantage of the minions and he only summons it for himself and the nearby. So yeah, I don't know. It's not the greatest family bonus in the world at all. And I can see that they're still not including any passives for these heroes. So we're not off to the best start for you, Albin. Now moving on into his stats. Let's have a quick look without the max power. So that is decent. 1122. 1108 on the attack. 1143 on defense. And 2070 on health. That's pretty decent. I mean, his stats are really good, especially for a seasonal hero. I mean, that's in line with some of the more powerful heroes that we're actually being seen released into the game currently. So hopefully that's not an error and they're going to nerf it like in 5 minutes. But I do think that those stats are really decent for him. And stats is a big issue in the moment. So in the game at the moment. So you need those stats to be competitive. So yeah, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. As far as ether talents, defense up for Albin, one of my favorites. So at the start of the battle, he gets an extra 20% defense for 6 turns. That is going to be super awesome. It's going to make him super survivable. So let's see what this guy's actually doing. So his special skill is called a cozy break. And you can see he sat down with his nice cup of gingerbread, hot chocolate, cocoa, whatever that is. It's making me really, really want one of those at the moment. And his special skill's running at slow speed. So, you know, he's just taking it easy, biding his time, enjoying the Christmas spirit. So at slow speed, he's going to deal 440% damage to all enemies. That's pretty brutal. And the duration of buffs is reset for all allies. I'm liking it so far. He summons 2 elf minions for each ally with 10% HP and 10% attack inherited from the caster. All right, so, I mean, there's not a lot that's not to like about this hero. He's just a brutal damage dealer. I mean, his attack stat is massive. He's doing 440% damage to all enemies, and he's resetting the duration of all of your buffs. So you kind of want to make it to where this guy goes off at the end of the turns of your buffs so that you can just refresh that. I mean, he's not a bad hero in any ways. Like, I was expecting a lot worse, put it that way. He is going to be a rush specialist. I would say this guy's going to be really super brutal in rush wars. You put him alongside a defense down hero like Costume Leonidas, for example, in the same color, and then that 440% damage is just going to completely wipe a team. So if you're after a really good rush hero and a solid damage dealer, then Albin with his warm hot chocolate is your dude. So yeah, I'm not too unimpressed so far. He's pretty straightforward. There's nothing much more to say about Albin. Let's move over to Ottilia. This one I'm not a fan of the art of. I think that they've done, I mean, there's something wrong with her face. She just looks all right, I guess. She does have the mistletoe hanging down, so I guess that's quite cutesy and comical. But otherwise, yeah, she's kind of weird looking as well. So she is a fire hero. She is of the ranger class, so it gives her a nice chance to bypass. Again, she gets the same family bonus and no passives. Hopefully we will see some passives introduced for these heroes in the future, but as of yet, nothing. The attack up on the ether talent's decent, so she gets an additional 20% attack at the start of the battle, and that runs for 6 turns. And then in terms of stats, again, we're looking at a really decent amount of power, so 1124. 1165 on attack, 1100 on defense, and 2027 on health. So again, super duper like stats. These heroes are bonkers in terms of their stats. I really think that they are valid, and they are keeping up with the curve as far as the seasonal heroes. So her special skill is at very fast speed. That's what we like to see. It's called Mistletoe Medley. And she's going to be dealing 440% damage just to the target, so a single snipe, but she copies all the dispellable buffs from the target to the caster. The caster recovers 10% health per copied buff, up to 50% health in total, and she summons an elf minion with 10% HP and 10% attack inherited from the caster. Okay, there's some good bits and some bad bits about this special. Yeah, so the good bits about the special, it's a nice amount of damage. I say nice, there are snipers that will do more, but then she is running at very fast speed. If you compare to somebody like Khonshu's 425, I think the costume's less. And so she's going to hit harder than that. She does not have any other additional effects that she's damaging the target with those. So there is that. So she's a pretty good sniper. She copies all the dispellable buffs from the target to the caster, but what she doesn't do is she doesn't steal the buffs. It would be a lot better if she stole the buffs, because then the buffs aren't there anymore. She's only copying the buffs. What I would say, though, is that is cool, because you could copy buffs from really strong heroes. Like you could copy Ludwig's buff, or you could copy somebody else's buff, like Luna's buff, or, you know, somebody else, Dark Feather's buff, Hippo's buff. You can copy a bunch of different strong buffs. The only problem is you're not taking them away. So that's kind of nice, but also not nice at the same time. The health recovery per copied buff. It's not really going to come into play that often, because you're very seldom going to be copying 5 different buffs off of a single hero. So I don't think that health recovery is going to really come into play that often. And then just summoning the extra elf minion really isn't going to do that much, except put up like a really, really minor meat shield. So I'm less sort of sold on this one than the other one. I think they are both pretty straightforward and pretty simple. I think it'd be nice to have seen some more innovation, shall we say, for the Christmas heroes. But I like the look, I like the spirit, and they're not bad heroes. So congrats if you do manage to grab either one of them. Now, for the man of the hour, my boy Mr. Pengi. This is the one, if I'm totally honest, that I really want. I have two Pengis in my roster. Neither of them have costumes. I have this version. I use him all the time. I really think he's great, and he really does some serious damage depending on minions. But I would absolutely love the costume, because the costume bonus is where it's at. So you can see here, the attack bonus, defense, and health bonus for the Christmas heroes, all at 35%. 5% on the mana bonus, which is also awesome. And yeah, you just get those massive stats with Pengi. Like the way I've got him at the moment, if I just go out for a second, I'll go out into my roster so you can see the difference. Hold up. Where is he? He's going to be somewhere pretty lower down. So yeah, 975, and that's with the limit breaks and emblems. So yeah, you know, just I like for the hero to try and, you know, put him over 1,000, but I don't necessarily want a second limit break him. And the other one is sitting there a bit lower down in the roster, but he's not leveled yet, because like I really need to justify it. And, you know, the way I could do that would be by pulling his costume. So anyways, for me, it's more about the stats. As far as the actual class, so he's got to switch over from the druid class to the rogue. I think that's going to be really good because in Minion Wars, he's going to be on the defensive team, right? So that Rogue class giving him the extra chance to dodge is awesome. For other teams, the Druid class does have a 4% mana node where the Rogue only has a 2% mana node, so he may be missing out on something there. But then he's still running at fast speed, so it's not really that much of a detriment. I'd go for the Rogue one. So let's have a little look. In terms of the stats, now we do have the max power off. We're looking at just under 1100 attack, which is nice. Over 1000 easily on the defense and 1895 on the health. Total team power of 1064. And then if we do whack on the max limit breaks, emblems, etc., which we probably would, he's going to go all the way up to 1408 on the team power and some pretty humongous stats there. Plus, he's now getting the attack up where he had the defense up. The attack up is a better ether talent for Pengi because he is a damage dealer. First and foremost, that is his primary function. Pardon me. So that is what we want him to be doing. And the attack up's going to give him that benefit. So let's have a little look at what's changed. So the old special was 450% damage to the target, Herring Blaster. An additional 130% damage to as many random enemies as there are minions owned by allies, and the damage is reduced on every consecutive hit. All hit targets receive 255 frost damage over 3 turns, and then elf minion for the caster and the nearby allies. So the new one, it's a lower amount of damage. I can see that right away. So 400% damage to the target now instead of 450. But he now deals an additional 160% damage to as many random enemies as there are minions owned by allies. So that is a big jump. I say big jump from 130 to 160, but remember, he hits for as many times as there are minions owned by allies. So he can hit up to 12 additional hits. Or is it 12 or 15? So 3 times 5. Yeah, 15 additional hits. So the damage does get reduced on each consecutive hit, but now we're going down from 160. Before we were 130. So I can only assume that's going to be a lot better. All hit targets receive 336 frost damage over 3 turns. So has that increased? It has indeed. So yeah, that's much, much better. Honestly, everything about this hero is now better. The frost damage is about just over 100 per turn now, which is, decent. I think you could potentially pair him up with somebody who increases ailment damage. Like I'm thinking also Mene, the hero of the month last month. I know she doesn't increase it, but she gets mana from it. So they could be a good pairing together. Honestly, Pengi does work with a lot of other good heroes like Merriman Midnight. She's a minion summoner, so put them together. She gives extra attack to Pengi. There's just so many different synergies that you can build with this hero. So yeah, I really like this one. I mean, out of all of the costumes, he's just the most interesting one. And I think the most fun one as well. And I think, Christmas is all about fun. He's ready for snowboarding and everything else. So why would you not want Pengi's costume? So yeah, with that all said, congrats, massive congrats if you do manage to pull this guy. Personally, I jumped to the gun and I did literally all of my pulls this morning. I dropped 11 pulls. I didn't get a single one. But then it is still the 1st of December. I'm just having some super bad luck recently with my pulls, but never mind. It's the 1st of December. There is still a whole long month ahead of us, and we've got a huge amount of time for this event. If we go, where is the Christmas event? I'm pretty sure I just clicked on it. Anyway, the Christmas portal is going to be somewhere. There it is. Okay, so we have got literally 1, 2, 3, 4, nearly 5 weeks worth of this. So yeah, honestly guys, just enjoy the event, enjoy everything else that's going on at this time of Christmas. I wish you guys everything of the best, obviously, for your holiday season. Hopefully you're getting it started off well. Put those Christmas tunes on, get to being merry and celebrating with the family. And yet, as well, don't forget, if you are not subscribed to the channel, now is the time to subscribe. 'Tis the season to give you gifts. We do have memberships on the channel, so if you want to give me something back at this Christmas time, you are more than welcome to join McNulty's Beer Garden or McNulty's Coffee Shop. I'll give you a nice warm cup of cocoa and some additional perks as well for being a member. So do like and subscribe, share it with your mother, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye for now.